Okay, so we'll be doing a couple things today, but first what I'm going to do is I've got 5 hard drives here. Just want to go through how I take these apart, what I go after in them, and whatnot.
Another morning comes, pulling apart what's left, hands deep in the world, sorting through the mess. Strip it down to what's real beneath.
These can be a bit finicky. Looks like all of these are all torch bits. So we'll be getting into all of them. But it can definitely be a bit frustrating because some of the torch bits are very small. And some of them can, honestly, I think there's some mid sizes in these because I've got some that my T7 bit doesn't want to work in. My T6 bit is too loose, and so I ground down a T6, and so I've got roughly a T6.5, and that works. So, like I said, it's frustrating sometimes with these guys. I wish they would just use a standard size bit. These guys may have value if you can find a good buyer on eBay or whatnot. These are just the server trays that they go into servers with. Some of them are better than others. This one here is cast aluminum. So it's got some scrap value in addition to the fact that you might be able to sell it.
Wish I could reach you, but the waves are too tough. I question your reflection. Do you see?
Those pop out easily. There's just 4 screws, 2 on either side.
Treading familiar water, but I'm lost out at sea. 2 ships passing under the storm, just silhouettes in the rain. Tethered by
And I do have background music playing that's copyright free because I own the copyright for the music. And some of them have these metal trays. They can go into your steel or go with the tray assembly. This is a new set of torch screwdrivers that I bought. These are the larger sizes, and then I've also got some that go down even a good bit further. Trying this set for now, though. So obviously the main thing that you have on these is the board here on the back.
truth in your silence, and I screamed at your call.
The SATA boards are supposedly less valuable than the SATA boards.
2 ships passing under the storm, just silhouettes in
I'll show you here.
tethered by what we
boards with these connections are less valuable in terms of precious metal recovery than the ones with. I have one here. Yeah. Nope, I do not. These are all the same. That needs to go over there. That's a SCSI drive. I'm not going to go look for one right now. The IDE is the other type that's more valuable than these guys, which has all of the, I think it's 40 pins. Brown dog, what are you eating? I know it's you. There you are, brown dog. Good boy most of the time, aren't you? Screw. Don't eat the screw. And you do have to remember that there's going to be at least one hidden screw on pretty much every single one of these. You can generally find it because when you look at the plastic at the label here, there'll be a spot with a concentric circle, and you'll be able to find it under there. Sometimes there are also screws on the back side here under these little stickers. Don't know if this is one of them. Doesn't look like. No, these should be good. Covers can be aluminum, they can be steel, or they can be stainless. So you always want to test it with your magnet. In this case, ferrous. It's just a matter of removing all the screws. Some of the screws are stainless as well. I do not sort them, to be honest. I'm not sure, well, I need to ask. I don't believe that my yard does stainless steel separate. I've got a small scrap yard about 2 miles from my house that I take all my ferrous metal to. The larger bits of stainless I do separate, but the screws I typically don't. So now I've removed all these screws. Down here for the platter dividers. These 3 screws hold pieces in place that keep the platters separated. Keep them from contacting each other. Now then, typically what I do, I just take my screwdriver, get up under here, and pry this first magnet up. Sometimes this will be a magnet, sometimes it'll be just a flat piece of steel. Some of the newer drives, they've gone to just having the rare earth magnets on one side, not both sides. Once you've got that out of the way, this should be able to, it's got a little stop in there that prevents it from going too far. Once you can get it out of the way. In this particular case, I'm going to unscrew the centerpiece here. It's actually threaded into the back of the the plate, and then you just press up on the connector there to free that, and that comes out as one piece. There's my platters. These are aluminum platters in the larger hard drives, plastic divider. And then I've got two more screws, looks like, here for the other magnet. I'm going to go ahead and take my pliers. I'm going to pop this post off. That'll just be ferrous metal. I actually have a magnet in my hand to test it with. Ferrous metal. Lightly ferrous. Might be stainless steel, but. And then I put all my magnets into one container over here. I'll sort them at some point and potentially sell those. So now I've just got the motor left. I do have a couple of these that I've kept the motors in as Greeblies. I think I've got a half dozen or so of them. I've got more of these upstairs, so I won't do it on this one. Flipping back over to the back here, I go after the contacts. Typically, I just pry them up with my knife, my utility knife. Get up under this basically sticker. There's that bit. And then the connectors on these are often gold, so pop those off. Since I'm not trying to save this one, I'll go straight over to my vise here, open it up just big enough for the motor to fall through. Give me a hammer here, my punch. Just like that. Sometimes they will come out like this, where it's just the spindle, which means that the copper bearing piece is still in here. And then just pry that copper bearing piece out. There you go. There's a little bit of copper. This is cast aluminum. In this case, we got all the screws out, so it's clean cast aluminum. These pieces are all aluminum. There may be this gray piece in here will be ferrous, but depending on your yard, you might not get caught with it. But to me, these are actually Greeblies, so I get to keep them as Greeblies. These go into my copper recovery. It's over there. These I am keeping aside for now. I'm going to be melting these down to see and have them XRF to see what metals are inside them. This gold recovery chip, got possibly some tantalum capacitors on here, more chips, flat packs. In this case, everything's on one side. MLCCs as well. And then we get down to this guy. So here we have gold contacts on this connector, and I want to separate this from the plastic. And do be careful when you're doing this. I've done more than a few, so I know how much pressure to put on without slicing myself up, but do be careful. That's just plastic. This is an aluminum plate on the back. These are pieces of aluminum as well. And then you get over here to this, this is has a small chip on it and the connectors that lead to the reader. Some of these will have screws holding them in. This one just has little pips that do it. And then you can see these are the wires that go to the read head. And this is where there's a potential for gold wires in these, is along those dark wires there. There's also a potential for gold in the read heads themselves. I have not gone through and captured all those yet, but I will be doing that before I put them, do anything with them. Pull that off, and then we got another little copper coil back here at the back. And I use my pliers to just pop that loose. Just like that. And that goes in the copper recovery again. And the rest of this piece, there's potential for steel in the middle of this. Right there, you can see that screw that goes through the metal that was plugged into the back. That's still, the rest of this is aluminum. So, for me though, Greeblies. So these are all Greeblies. This is actually a Greebly for me also. The Star Wars fans and other sci-fi fans like to use these as wall mount pieces for, to do something inside here. So that's that, and the rest of that will go into my ribbon wire collection to be incinerated and melted down to see what all is inside. So now that I've gone through one with you, I'm going to go through these other four and knock them out real quick. And hopefully we might see something different in one or two of them. We shall see what we find.
Screaming through the silence in the river. Every echo carries what you tried to cut. My voice ripped down some walls you built around me, but sound waves can't be caged indefinitely. Silence in the river. But I'm still here.
Talking about the music again. This one might have a screw on the spindle as well. That one. Let's see if this one on the spindle. Yep. Like that too. Spindle on the middle of the drive motor. This one's got a much bigger card. Also got a gold corner VGA on it. It's probably a more valuable board and a more valuable drive as a whole. I think I've got roughly half a dozen of these SCSI drives. So you can see there, gold corner VGA, more chips, more channel capacitors, more MLCCs. Actually, I don't see any channels on that one, but more MLCCs. It's got gold pins in there, gold pins on the back here. And it looks like I'm probably going to have look like they'll have screws in them. It looks like there'll be some screws on the inside. This separator. Okay, this one here is non-ferrous. That little piece there is ferrous, but the rest of this is not. And if I chuck this up, I got a feeling just from the weight of it, it's stainless. There. Got another little trigger on it that prevents the come over. This separator here is kind of hinged so it can pop out of the way when you need it to. Interesting. But I do want to get that post out of there. Like that. Feels like I could have unscrewed that. Looks like it's aluminum too. Okay, in this case the motor is a separate unit. So we got to remove these screws anyway. But instead of punching the motor, just unscrew it. Oh, hold it. Going through that way. Okay. There's that motor. This again is a Greebly. This is a Greebly also. I'll leave this one intact because it's just the motor now. Got the three little contacts, so potentially could do something with it with an actual motor. So I'll keep that separate from the Greeblies. These platters, honestly, they're smaller and they seem thinner. They should be aluminum, so they're just smaller platters. More Greeblies. backing on this. Have some gold plating on these pins. This one does not have a screw. This one is really tight in here, so I'm probably going to need my utility knife to get this one around. Pop that loose, and on this one you can actually, I'll show you here in a second. The wires on this one, you can see look very gold. Looks like there's good gold plating on those. Again, the older devices tend to have much better gold recovery. And another thing I've noticed on the older ones is the copper coil back here often looks like it's gold plated. When it does, I actually throw this into my the parts that I'm going to incinerate, just because I think that if that is gold plating on these, I want to try and recover it. These definitely look better. These are my Greeblies. I've just got a large flat reed box that happens to fit these cases perfectly. some of these, the reader arm will be screwed in from the back, so you'll have to remove a screw from the back side.
Another Monday, eyes are burning, drag myself out of this bed. Clock is laughing in my face, telling me to run instead. 5 more days to lose my mind, all my colors turning gray. I'm a ghost behind this desk, just watching life slip away. Bosses grind, but I'm already broke. My soul got sold with that corporate joke. 5-day
Flowers out.
5-day cage.
These are all aluminum pieces, as I mentioned, I think. That's plastic. Sometimes these are aluminum. I'll show you real quick what they look like. Two quick examples of aluminum ones. I keep the aluminum ones as Greeblies. See, when it pops loose, once it does, you typically don't need to keep hammering, so you just pop it out. There you go. Greeblies. Copper.
Rainfall, spinal crackle, a faded photograph, staring through fog on the wind, watching you drift backwards. This all gone table, fruit locked behind your eye. You hum the same sad melody, pretending you're alright. Shadows by the window,
So far, all of these screws have
slipping
been
out
2/8.
of reach.
That is not always the case,
Buried
unfortunately.
in a secret, tangled in the sheets, wanted to be seen. She chose to vanish, losing you day by day to the silence and madness. Unmentioned illness, hiding in plain sight. World keeps spinning, but you're losing life.
ladder drive are not 2/8 on this one.
Dirty little secret. Tango
It also has much smaller magnets.
wanted to be seen, but you chose to vanish, losing you day by day to the silence of
Center
night.
magnet.
All the things unspoken echo in this room. Time slips through my fingers in the blue afternoon.
T7.
Rain on cracked pavement, the city washed clean, but secrets linger after the scene. Still I wait at the window, hoping you'll return while the world outside keeps spinning unaware.
Yeah. On this one we got T8s and T6s. So far, all of these have been threaded. There's 25 on this one. And this one here looks like it's gonna be pressed down. Thought for a second because I see these three studs, I thought it was going to be screwed in from the back, but there's no place for screws coming in there. There's center Greebly. There's our copper. And I'll get back in here. This style, I typically use my screwdriver to get up under it. Pop it up from the side. Greeblies. I'll go through those in a minute. I need to reorganize these drivers to get them into some semblance of order. This drive definitely looks different from the others. Still has a SATA style board on it. But it's got different gold contacts in the back here. And I can already tell we're going to have, they've hidden the screws on one side entirely. Western Digital Drive. have screws that are kind of rounded off in the thread in the kind of rounded off in the area where the screwdriver goes, and very small. I don't know that one. This one does not look threaded. Off at first this time.
If we fall will the pieces ever heal? Smoking static in the dark. Is anything for real? I wanna trust, but every word just twists the night. Bleeding love through broken nights.
Magnet. That should be up. Sometimes on these, the back will be brass. I am not going to worry about that. I'm going to toss it in with my Greeblies. I'd make more money from it that way. That's all ready to go.
If we fall
Platters.
will the pieces ever
In
heal?
this case, it came with two platter separators that are aluminum. So again, I'll throw these in with Greeblies. Those actually look really good. Well, I should do something well with them in the Greebly area. SATA boards and one discussion board. I'm going to put it with my stainless for now. I'll test it later. These will go with steel. I don't have my fill buckets in here right now. These guys, I said that I'm going to melt them. Just to give you an idea of how many hard drives I've taken apart lately. These smaller ones are from laptop drives. These are glass platters, so be careful with those. The medium size and the larger size are aluminum, and there may be some precious metal content, specifically platinum in them. But as I said, I'm going to do a big melt on these, and I'm going to see have them XRF and see what's in it. Now I just need to finish taking apart these guys. That's a Greeblies. Screws on this one. What looks to be gold plating on the gold plating on the coil there. So I'm going to treat it as gold plated until I can prove to myself that it's not. So all of that will go into my little bucket here to be incinerated and melted down. And this bucket has gotten full, so I am going to be doing that soon, I think. These again go into my Greeblies.